Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, this is the world of Wayne. Today we're going to be doing the next 5 stages, that's pack 2 of the Deagostini Collectables release of Build the Ford GT. Five stages here. I actually thought there was only 4 in each pack, but no, we get 5 stages for this. If you haven't seen pack 1 of this, we did this a couple of weeks ago. Have put a link just up here, and you can watch that. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, all you need to do is go over to the Deagostini Collectables site, and I have put a link in the video description for that, and you can get this all the way from pack 1. But today, we're going to be starting on stage 3, so without further ado, let's get cracking. So I am just going to show you the magazine here. As you can see, this is stage 3. Just give you a quick turn, a little bit of history about the cars. Matter of fact, of all the cars that were racing at Le Mans. We've got the door we're going to be doing in this one. Quite a lot of details for this. As you can see, we're going to be putting that together there. So by the end of it, we do have a finished door and a little picture showing where it's actually going to go. Absolutely ginormous pack, this one. So I'll get this open. So we're going to start with this lovely door here, and the first thing we're going to notice, we've got a keyhole pattern just at the bottom there. We're going to be putting this little exterior door light in there, and it is keyed as well, so it can only go in one way. Just fit that in, whoops, so it looks just like that, but we do need to hold that in. So from the other side, we're going to be putting in an FP02 screw. Have all the screws for this here. Remember, it's got a P in it. That means it's going into plastic, so should be good here from the other side, and screw that in. Excellent. While we've got it round this way, we're going to be putting the hinge just into this section here. I know you're all screaming at me saying, Wayne, you should be using your Partwork Upgrades mat. I will do, but this is it's very quick to put the hinge in. It needs to be in that way so that the little triangle is facing towards the door. So once we've got that in, I'm going to be clamping that into place with this bit of metal here, which is going to keep that hinge where it needs to be, just like that. Matter of fact, we do have some lugs. We don't normally see this, which is going to hold this hinge. Let me just take that off on that side, just like that. I haven't seen that for a long while. There you go. And that's going to be held in just with another screw, and that's an FD01 screw. So once again, we've got D this time, which means it is going into metal. So I will just put that in a little bit of oil. And I use oil because it just helps cut through the paint and make sure that this screw goes in true. Just like that. Now you do want to make sure that this one does go in really tight. The reason for that is because you don't want any door wobble when this is on the car. But that's the hinge in place there. In this section just here, we're going to be doing the barrel lock. So 2 parts for this. We actually got the lock, and we've got a spring which is going to go over the long shaft just like that. That whole thing is just going to fit into this section just here with this silver bolt facing down. So put this in, so it sits in like that, and then we're just going to be putting a clamp or a little bracket over the other side to keep that in. That's going to go just on there, held in with an FD04 screw. That's all going to fall off while I lie that down. So I've got those screws here. I put one in this side and just one in the other side there. Now make that nice and tight, and you see I've picked that up because obviously we don't want that bolt there to go down, but as you see there's now spring loaded on that bolt there. Now onto this side of the door, we're going to be putting some headlining in, which just looks like that. And that's just going to be pushing into these parts here. So line up the lugs and push that in. 1, 2, 3 and 4. That should hold itself, no problems in there like that. We're then going to be putting this absolutely awesome window section in. I do believe this bit's actually fixed, but that's what that looks like. It's going to go in from the outside, but this tab here is going onto the inside. So if I line this up and give you an idea of how this goes, kind of like that, that's held in with FD03 screws. These are flange screws. So that's one. Number 2 just here. And then just one in the middle. Excellent. So from the other side, it now looks like that. It's nice and flush on that door there. Put that to one side, and then the interior of the door is what we're actually working on now. So this is the section we're working on first. Turn it upside down, and we do have this little box to go in, a little lug just to go over that bottom piece there. Just positioning this up just like that, and then a screw down in this part here. That's an FP01 screw. We're using a lot of different screws for different parts of the car on this one. I think there's 5 packs of different screws in this one. So then from the other side, you see we've got this sort of like indent in this section here. We're then going to be mounting this inner panel to the door. So this is just going to go over the top, just like this. We're lining up these 2 metal lugs there over the top so we can put screws just down this side. Now they're going to take FD01 screws. That's one. Very bulky doors these are. Especially the internal structure just here. That one's 2, and I'm going to use my bigger screwdriver just to get that nice and tight. And then to hide those screw holes, we do have a little clip cover here. So just put that on, clip that in, just like that. And there we go. We have got a finished door. Looking really good. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So this is stage 4. Just turning around. I do love how they've all got their own magazine here, and as you can see we've got the hood cover here, so we're going to be attaching this to what we already had in the past pack here. So by the end of it, it's going to look just like that. So get this open, move that to one side, and I'm just going to show you the massive section that we got in the last pack. Look at that. Okay, first thing we're going to do is take the hood cover here, and that's actually just going to go into the opening just here, like that. And then we've got these hood closures, which are really tiny things, that is, that we're going to actually put in onto each one of these points just here and here. So I'm just lifting that up a touch. They are shaped, so they can only go in one way. So you put them in and then just turn them, and then that will lock into place. So do the same on this side. 2. 1 here. These ones actually turn the opposite way, and 1 just in this side here. So that's going to keep that hood in. As you can see, it's not going to fall out now. It looks just like that, and that's all there is to do in that stage. If you want to be really OCD, look, you can make sure that they're all just pointing in the same direction. That moves swiftly on to stage 5. Just turn this over. And as you can see, we're now going to be making a start on the carburetors on the engine. Loads and loads of little pieces here. So by the time we've got all of this into place, it's looking just like that. Check out the detail there. That looks absolutely amazing. And this is what everything looks like there. And I'm not joking when I say there's loads of little parts. So the first thing we need are these 3 sections here. We're going to be inserting the pivot throttle arm into the end of the throttle arm part 1. So we've got basically this section that looks like that, and then these sections just going onto the top of it. Now I'm just checking if they're symmetrical. They're not. The little peg is slightly off-centered here. So it's the off-center. We need to make sure that when we plug both of these in, they're both in exactly the same way. So I've got 1 in there. You really want to be careful when you're pushing these into place. I haven't glued these, just so you know. They fit quite tight in here. And there's the second one. So that looks just like that. So we've got the carburetor here. What we're actually going to do is turn this upside down. And this is going to go into the 2 holes just here. So I'm just lining them up. And I'll get these into place. Now when I'm pushing down into these points here, I'm not touching the brackets that we just put in. I'm just trying to grab the detail underneath it to push that in. Like that. And there we go. That's in place perfectly. Now the carburetors and the base have corresponding numbers. As you can see there, we've got 1s at the bottom and 2s at the top. So we want to take these and just match these up with the numbers. The numbers just being written just on that top section there. And that one's number 1. So it's number 1 that we're going to be putting in first. And because it's got a D-shaped pattern at the end, it can only really go in one way. So we've got 1 going in there, another 1 going in there. Again, can only go in one way. And then we'll put the number 2s in. 1 here. And 1 just that side there. So we need the diaphragms for the carburetors now, which look like this. They're just going to go into the top sections that we can see here. So we've got 1 there. And we're going to continue doing that for all the rest of them. But before we continue, obviously we want to hold these into place. So we're going to be putting an FP01 screw in from the other side, and that will hold each one of those diaphragms in place. So here's number 1. And just work your way doing all the rest of them. The way they've done it in the magazine actually is they've done 1 diaphragm at a time. But you know me, I want to do them all at the same time. But I will continue and get them all in. And make sure you put those keyed sections in correctly, but when that's done, it should look just like that. We're then going to be passing this fuel hose just through the hole that we've got in the side there. And pull that through. So that now we've got equal length of this going around when I hold it just like that. And then all we're going to do is take the holes on this fuel hose and put them over the pins on the carburetors here. So I'll get these all in. Tweezers are your friends here. As you can see, that's 2 in. Just doing 2 on the other side. Now this part of the hose pipe is just going to go through the hole here and come out the side. Like that. And we're just going to do the same with the other one as well. Feed that through the same hole. So that comes out that side as well. So there we go. We've got the 2 pipes coming out. We just want to then turn this whole assembly over and puts the intake manifold on, which looks like that. That's just going to go over the top of this section here. Get that locked in. There you go. That's held in with FP01 screws. And they're just into these 2 points just here. So 1 here. Excellent. And then just 1 down this side here. The last thing to do is put on the carburetor cover here. And this is just a clip in like that. As you can see, holds its own. And that's all there is to do in that stage. What a load of detail that was. Moves us on to stage 6. So again, I'll just quickly show you some of the magazine here. And as you can see, we have now got some lenses for the front headlamps. We're going to be putting those together. And we're going to put the reflectors on the back of them. So by the end of it, it looks like that. So for this stage, we're also going to need a lot of parts from stage 1, which I'm just going to get out here now. And the first thing we're going to do is take one of these reflectors and we're going to be putting a lens just into place here. Now you know you put them in right because you have got a little notch for these to go in. There's a tiny notch just on that side and a notch on this side. So line them up and then you can just clip those in like that. There is also a little design on these, so that will make sure that that's upright as well. Do the same on the other side. Line up the notch. And then that's in perfectly. It will hold its own. Now these are all labelled right, so make sure you take the right lens, which is this one. This is labelled R as well, and that's just going to go behind here like that. Again, so the design is facing upwards. And that's kind of how it's going to look in the housing. Just gently put that down because that's where that's going. Do the same with the other side. Again, make sure we put that in the right way. And I'll just keep that to one side. Then we've got some lenses here, which are going to go into these small reflectors. And once again, there is a little notch to help you guide which way round these go. Just line that notch up and then push that in. Just like that. Do the same on the other one. And that's the other one in perfectly there as well. Bring over the massive hood that we've been working on. We're going to put the lenses in. So one lens is going to go in from this side here, like that. And we do the same on the other side there. Flip this over. Just make sure that these sections here are clipped in. You've got a longer side here. All you do is you put it in at an angle to the back, like that. And then, quite simply, click it in. And that will keep it in place. So, bringing that back over, we're just going to position these where they go. So, this one here is going on that side just there. This one here is going on this side. So, we've got the left side and the right side. They're going to be held in with the FD01 screws here. Again, going into metal. So, just a little bit of oil on there. Put them in loosely first, and then I will tighten these completely up. So then when that's in, that's going to look just like that. We save these reflectors for later on, but that's all there is to do in that stage. So the last stage here, stage 7, again, just show you through the magazine quickly. Quite a quick stage this one. As you can see, we're going to be doing the driver's seat, 3 screws and 2 sections together, and we're just going to be piecing both of these parts together. So at the end, it's going to look like that eventually. So as you can see, it's a tiny box, this one. I think they thought we had enough to do in this pack, so we'll end it on a nice easy one. So quite simply, all we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 lugs here into the holes there, like that. Turn it over and use these flange screws here to connect them together. So one in there. And load up my screwdriver. One in the other side. And that is now looking like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. And that's all there is to do in that pack. So just to show you where we're up to at the moment, we've got the seat. We've done the door, which looks like this on that side. And then finally, the massive section we've got is the bonnet and also a couple of reflectors. You know, you can tell on these builds that they're going to be good just from doing the first couple of packs and seeing how much detail's in there. Obviously, I didn't just show you the carburetor there. I mean, look, check that out. That's amazing. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here to the Deagostini Collectables website. You can get this all the way from pack 1, but I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.